It starts quietly, almost too quietly. The kind of silence that makes you lean in, wondering what's coming next. For months now, the global dinar community has been holding its breath. Watching, waiting, decoding every hint, every whisper, every subtle move from the banking world. And suddenly, as October fades and November begins, something feels different. There's a shift in tone. The language is sharper. The timing more precise. And the confidence? Palpable. This isn't the usual background chatter we've heard for years. This feels organized, coordinated, intentional. Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News Today, where we break down the stories shaping the future of global currencies and the much-anticipated revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. And right now, the latest intel from trusted sources is lighting up the conversation in a big way. Because according to well-known analyst Bruce from Wiser Now, we may be entering one of the most critical windows yet. The first week of November, a period that could finally mark the start of real movement in the long-awaited redemption and revaluation process. You can almost feel it. Not the excitement that comes from rumors or hype, but the calm confidence that comes when the pieces finally start falling into place. Bruce shared in his latest call that his contacts within Wells Fargo, one of the lead banks tied to this operation, have indicated a readiness phase unlike anything seen before. According to his intel, notifications for Tier 4B, the so-called Internet Group, could roll out between Thursday and Saturday, right around the start of November. And that specific timeline has caught the community's attention. Because let's be honest, we've all heard predictions before, but this one, it sounds different. The words Bruce used, notifications, appointments, exchange timing, aren't the vocabulary of speculation. They're the language of logistics, operational language, the kind of phrasing that suggests something is actively being coordinated, not just discussed. That's why his update has reignited energy across the dinar world. Because this isn't about guessing anymore, it's about readiness. Now, to understand the weight of what Bruce is talking about, you need to know a bit about the structure behind this process. For years, the idea of a global financial reset has circulated. A system designed to rebalance wealth, adjust currency values, and transition the world from the old fiat-based model to a new asset-backed monetary system. Within that framework, participants are divided into groups or tiers. And the group known as Tier 4B, that's us, the online community, the informed investors who have been tracking every update and are ready to move the moment the notifications go out. Wells Fargo, according to multiple reports, has long been positioned as one of the lead banks managing the exchange process in North America. That's why Bruce's statement about their readiness is so significant. It's like hearing that the control tower has cleared the runway. Everything has been checked, tested, and aligned. And now the system just needs the signal to go. But let's take a step back for a second and appreciate what it takes to even reach this stage. A global transition like this doesn't just involve one country. It's a massive coordination effort involving central banks, commercial banks, digital platforms, compliance systems, and government regulators. It means security protocols have to be upgraded, payment systems synchronized, and international transaction networks verified. For months now, quiet but measurable progress has been happening behind the scenes. Redemption centers being tested, internal software being updated, and communication systems between banks and treasuries fine-tuned. Every one of those steps has been part of the groundwork for what may finally be about to activate. So when Bruce says that notifications could come out between Thursday and Saturday, he's not talking about a vague rumor. He's describing a technical process, a communication system that, once triggered, sends targeted invitations to individuals in Tier 4B to begin setting appointments. And that's the critical part. These aren't public announcements. They're direct notifications for a specific group that's been pre-identified and prepared. When those messages go out, it marks the point when speculation ends and participation begins. Now one question keeps coming up. Why is Wells Fargo always in the center of this conversation? The answer is simple: coordination and leadership. In this process, certain banks were chosen to take the lead because of their size, international reach, and ability to manage complex global exchanges securely. Wells Fargo is one of those institutions. Their role, according to many intel reports, is to serve as the primary interface between the new financial structure and everyday participants like us. So when Bruce reports that Wells Fargo has signaled readiness, it's not just a small update. It's like hearing that the control center is finally online and the countdown has begun. It's not hype. It's operational movement, and that's what makes this update stand out. Because in any massive operation, whether it's financial, political, or technological, the hardest thing to achieve is alignment. You can have technology ready, but if policy isn't finalized, it stalls. You can have political approval, but if the banks aren't synchronized, it delays. What Bruce's intel suggests is that, for the first time, all the key components are aligned: operational, financial, and logistical. That's why his confidence feels different this time. He's not speculating on what might happen. He's relaying what's being communicated directly through his network of banking contacts. And the tone of his message is measured, structured, and intentional. This isn't just another maybe soon update. This feels like readiness in real time. So let's imagine for a moment that this timeline holds true. If Tier 4B does begin receiving notifications between Thursday and Saturday, what happens next? The process would unfold in phases. Step 1, notifications go out to approved participants. Step 2, appointment scheduling opens. Step 3, exchanges or redemptions begin, most likely in the first week of November. And that first week matters a lot. Financial systems often operate in cycles, and the start of a new month means fresh ledgers, cleared accounts, and synchronized reporting periods. Launching something of this magnitude at the beginning of a month is not only symbolic, it's strategically smart. It ensures efficiency, reduces technical overlap, and gives everyone a clean slate to process transactions smoothly. So the idea of starting early November doesn't just sound nice, it makes sense operationally. And let's talk about what this means emotionally for the dinar community. For months, maybe even years, the energy has felt slower. Updates became infrequent, discussions cooled, and many began to wonder if the momentum had faded. But now, this kind of time-specific, coordinated intel reignites that sense of belief. It brings focus back to preparation. It reminds everyone that the plan, no matter how delayed, has never been abandoned. It's just been quietly evolving behind the scenes, waiting for the right window of global alignment. Because major financial transitions rarely happen with public announcements. They unfold in secure rooms under strict confidentiality, and only once every safeguard is in place. And here's where it gets real, the human side of all this. Behind every dinar holder, behind every Tier 4B participant, there's a story. A story of patience, belief, and sometimes sacrifice. People have waded through uncertainty, researched for years, and held on to hope, not just for wealth, but for what that wealth could make possible. For some, it's about providing for their families. For others, it's about funding community projects, helping others, or creating lasting generational change. So when updates like Bruce's surface, with precise timing and measured optimism, they don't just stir excitement. They reawaken purpose. They remind everyone why they started this journey in the first place, to be part of a financial transformation that restores balance and fairness to a global system that's been uneven for too long. So if Bruce's message is accurate, what should we be doing right now? Simple, get ready. That means double-checking your documents, keeping your contact information current, understanding the basic exchange protocols, and mentally preparing for the process to move quickly once it begins. Because once the notifications roll out, it won't be time to start learning, it'll be time to act. This is the calm before the movement, and those who are organized, aware, and alert will be best positioned to navigate the process smoothly. One of the most important takeaways from Bruce's latest update isn't just the information, it's the tone. He said, quote, "We believe what we're hearing is that notifications are to come out between Thursday, Friday, or Saturday." That's not speculation. That's a statement of coordination. His words carry structure, purpose, and confidence, the kind that only comes when multiple confirmations are pointing in the same direction. And that's why people across the dinar community are paying attention again, replaying his statements, marking calendars, and watching closely as we move into early November. Of course, as more days pass, more analysts and insiders will add their own perspectives, some confirming, others questioning, others offering cautious optimism. And that's okay. That's part of a healthy discussion. But at the heart of all this remains one undeniable fact. There is visible alignment now between banks, systems, and timing. That's not rumor, that's progress. Because systems don't align themselves by accident. They align when something real is being prepared to launch. And that's exactly what Bruce's report from Wiser now points toward, not fantasy, not hype, but quiet operational movement. For years, the phrase, "the final move," has echoed in these discussions. a reference to the moment when all preparation gives way to execution. And that's the feeling right now, that we're standing at the edge of that transition, where readiness turns into reality. Think about what's required to make that happen. Synchronized currency rates, updated global compliance systems, interbank security protocols, real-time settlement technology, none of that happens overnight. It's taken years of coordination. And now, all signs suggest that the final activation phase could be upon us. That's why this particular Intel update has drawn so much attention. It's not just another prediction. It's detailed, time-stamped, and grounded in banking readiness. And if it holds true, the first week of November could be one of the most significant weeks in the history of this entire movement. But here's what feels most different this time: the calm. For so long, updates like these were met with noise, speculation, and frantic energy. But now, there's a quiet sense of certainty settling in, almost as if people can feel that this time it's real. It's not loud excitement, it's quiet confidence. And that's how most real change begins. Because when something this complex finally comes together, it rarely announces itself with fanfare. It happens overnight, quietly, precisely, and irreversibly. So whether you call it a reset, a revaluation, or a realignment, the principle is the same. Value being restored, systems being recalibrated, and opportunity being redistributed. That's what this is all about. So as we move into the first week of November, stay alert, stay informed, and most importantly, stay ready. Because if Bruce's intel is on point, the days ahead could mark the start of a long-awaited new chapter, not just for dinar holders, but for everyone who's believed in this global transition from the very beginning. And remember, big changes rarely start with noise. They start in silence, until suddenly the world wakes up to a new reality. Thank you for watching Iraqi Dinar News Today, your trusted source for balanced updates and real insights into the evolving story of the Iraqi dinar. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates as we follow this unfolding story together. Until next time, stay patient, stay hopeful, and stay ready. Disclaimer: the information provided on Iraqi Dinar News Today is for educational and informational purposes only. We do not provide financial, investment, or trading advice. All content shared on this channel is based on publicly available data and personal opinions. Viewers are advised to do their own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Iraqi Dinar News Today is not affiliated with any government agency, bank, or financial institution.